All right, let's dive into one of the most dangerous and seriously misunderstood laws of power. Law number 1, never outshine the master. So let me ask you something. Have you ever been in that spot where you are so good at your job that it actually starts to backfire? Like, how is it possible that your greatest strength can suddenly become your biggest liability? Okay, picture this. You're at work and you are just on fire, right? You're knocking every task out of the park. Your ideas are brilliant. You are absolutely the star of the team. And hey, at first, it feels incredible, doesn't it? Your boss is noticing, you're getting that real praise, the, wow, you were doing amazing work kind of comment that just makes you feel totally seen and valued. But then something starts to shift. It's slow at first, you can barely put your finger on it, but the whole energy changes. Suddenly, you're not invited to that key meeting. Or your best project? Yeah, that just got reassigned to someone else. And before you can even really process what's going on, you're out. Just like that. Pushed to the side, maybe even let go. And you're just sitting there thinking, what in the world just happened? I did everything right. Or did you? Well, what happened is something called the paradox of success. And the answer to it all? It lies in a really fundamental and honestly, often brutal law of human dynamics. Robert Greene just lays it out there super bluntly. He says, always make those above you feel comfortably superior. And listen to that word, feel. This has nothing to do with logic, it's all about ego. The second they feel overshadowed, even if you didn't mean it, the whole game changes. So here's the psychology behind it. It's called a status threat. And really, it's that deep down fear we all have of losing our spot, our importance. And when you accidentally trigger that in your boss, their logical brain just checks out. It takes a backseat. And pure emotion, we're talking envy, resentment, insecurity, that's what grabs the steering wheel. And if you want to see just how dangerous this can be, oh boy, let's look at a real story from history. This isn't some office drama. This is the story of a party that literally cost a man his entire life of freedom. Okay, so meet our main characters. On one side, you've got Nicolas Fouquet. He's the brilliant, super ambitious finance minister for King Louis XIV of France. And on the other side, well, you've got the king himself, the Sun King, a guy who literally believed he was the state. I mean, the power dynamic here could not be more intense. And here it is, the fatal mistake. In 1661, Fouquet decides to throw the most incredible, most spectacular party France has ever seen, and it's all to honor his king. But Louis, he doesn't see loyalty. He sees a rival. He sees a man whose wealth, whose taste could actually outshine his own. And just a few days later, Fouquet is arrested on totally made-up charges and thrown in prison for the rest of his life. But wait, it gets crazier. Here comes the ultimate power move. It wasn't enough to just punish Fouquet. No, this was about reasserting absolute total superiority. So what does Louis do? He hires the exact same team of architects and artists that built Fouquet's magnificent home and has them build the Palace of Versailles. A symbol so huge, so over the top, that no one would ever dare outshine him again. So that's the story. Pretty wild, right? But the big question is, why? What is actually going on inside the mind of the master when they feel outshone? Let's get into the psychology of status. Think of it like a chain reaction, okay? Step 1, your success is out there for everyone to see. Step 2, that simple act triggers this deep, hidden status anxiety in your boss. Step 3, their ego kicks in and interprets your awesome work not as a win for the team, but as a personal threat to them. And that's when logic just flies out the window and pure emotion takes over. And the final step, which is almost inevitable, they have to reassert control. And how do they do that? By getting rid of the threat, which is you. This is the absolute key to understanding all of this. Your talent, your success, it doesn't just exist on its own. To someone in power, it becomes this giant mirror. A mirror that reflects all of their own insecurities, all of their shortcomings, right back at them. And let's be honest, nobody likes looking in that kind of mirror. Okay, so we get the danger. It's real. But how in the world do you avoid this trap? Well, that brings us to the most important part. Mastering the game of power. Listen, if you remember one thing, let it be this. The need to protect your status, it's not just a preference, it's a primal instinct. It's like the body protecting its oxygen supply. So if you threaten it, even by accident, you should expect a fierce self-preservation kind of response. It's just human nature.
Now, I know what you might be thinking. Doesn't this sound a little manipulative, a little fake? But it's really not. A better way to think of it is as social calibration. It's about being smart, being aware of the ego dynamics that are always at play, and then adjusting your approach so you can be effective, not just brilliant. It's really just strategic wisdom.
And that leaves us with this final thought. Never outshine the master isn't about playing small. It's not about hiding your talents forever. It's about understanding that sometimes the most effective kind of power, well, it doesn't show up with a big fireworks display. It operates quietly, strategically, and yeah, often behind a mask of humility. So the real question for you is, are you just playing for the applause, or are you actually playing to win the game?